Good morning, everyone. Today is the 24th. Make sure you have your notes written before you begin this video. If you do not, go ahead and pause the video and copy down the notes. You should have the word warm up written at the top. And what page is this in your notebook? This is page number 10. So make sure you put a 10 in the top right hand corner. All right, the warm-up. It says find the vertex of the following equation. All right, that word vertex is new to us. So let's kind of go over what that means. The word vertex is either your highest or your lowest point on a graph. So it's always going to be in the shape of a parabola, which is a U. So like I said, it's either going to be the lowest or the highest point. That's always called the vertex. Now, the vertex is a coordinate, and the letters are H and K. Those are the big things you learned about the vertex. Now, you also learned how to find the vertex by the equation. So in number 1, they're giving you an equation and you're asked to find it. So how we start this off is we're going to label our A, B, and C. A, B, and C are your coefficients. A is in front of x squared, which is going to be 1. B is in front of x, which is going to be 16, and C is 71. Now, we need to know our formula. Our formula is x equals negative b over 2a. We wrote that in our notes about 6 times the other day, and we highlight it. This negative is in the formula, so it'll stay on the outside. You plug in whatever number you have for b. Today we have 16 all over 2 times 1. So I have negative 16 divided by 2, which is negative 8. So we also learned something else about vertex called the AOS. It's also known as the axis of symmetry. That means it's that vertical line. It's a dotted vertical line that goes down the middle of your graph. And what that means is if you were to fold the graph, it would cut it in half. So AOS is the axis of symmetry. And why is that relevant to the vertex? Because it's the x value of the vertex. So my AOS here is negative 8. So I already found part of my vertex, which is negative 8. How am I going to find the other part of it? I'm going to take this negative 8 and I'm going to plug it in into the x in my equation. So it's going to be negative 8 squared plus 16 times negative 8 plus 71. If you need a calculator, go for it. Negative 8 squared is 64. You need to do 16 times 8. So I've got negative 128 plus 71. 64 minus 128. That's easy. That's negative 64. So then I have 71 minus 64 because they're opposite signs. That's what I'm doing over here. And that would be 7. So my K value, remember this is H and K, is negative 7. And this guy would equal 7. And that is my final answer. Moving on to number 2. 2x squared plus 30x plus 170 equals 0. You guys should be able to pause the video and go ahead and do this on your own. All right, so my axis of symmetry is x equals -9. My vertex starts with -9. And now I just need to plug in -9. I'm going to do it at the top, so I'm running out of room. Now you guys got to be careful of order of operations here. So -9 squared is 81. So 2 times 81. And then 36 times 9. So that's going to be -324 plus 170. 2 times 81. It's 162. Oh, that works out well again. So I'm going to write it down here so you guys can see it. 162 minus 324 plus 170. If you guys notice, it's always going to be usually half of each other. So then I have -162 plus 170, and that gives me 8. So my vertex is -9, 8. So just to recap, you learned how to find the vertex by using the formula, and then whatever you get out of that formula, you plug it back in. You find your axis of symmetry by the x-coordinate of the vertex, and the vertex is the letters H and K.